Landria here. Oh, I have something really cool to talk to you today about because it's happening. It's been happening. It's going to happen more. And why is it going to happen? Things are going to come out that are just going to blow people out of the water that used to think they could get away with just about anything. I'm talking about a lot of people, not just one or two that you might think are in the headlines. You know what I'm talking about. I'm going to address a few things because a couple things are going to happen. We have those going to fight for power, and we have others who are going to have not so nice things revealed that we're not going to tolerate anymore. But get ready. There is going to be a battle. Now, not the kind of battle you might hear of, good and evil. I'm talking about just egos. I'm going to talk about exactly what that is, what to expect, and how to just sail through it because you can. Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an amazing life. Also, my video, you guys didn't like the sound effects. It was actually a test, and guess what? It was really interesting what the results were, what your comments were. Some of you guys can be mean. Anyways, I enlisted it, and I won't be putting any more sound effects in. However, do I have your attention? Because you're going to want to hear this one. Two things are going to happen in regard to the Great Awakening that's going to be very noticeable and prominent. Now, we talked about the world shifting to something more simpler, more community, more giving and loving, less fear, which is raising the frequency of the planet, one light being at a time. Why less fear? Because we just don't have anything to lose anymore. And when you go into that space where things just start to go to hell in a handbasket, you realize what's truly important. And when you focus on that, you realize, it feels really good and this is really the life I want to live. Are you ready to go there? Because there are going to be a couple things happening right now. You've seen them in the headlines. I'm not going to go into detail because none of us knows all the facts. And we're going to see a lot of media both ways going to just sway us and get our eyeballs on there and get some attention. But what I want to share with you right now is there are going to be more and more people that are going to be, let's just say, revealed. In other words, we're going to find out all the nasty things that people out there that claim to be our leaders are not going to be such cool people after all. We're going to find out all their little dirty secrets, not because we're here to throw stones at them, because we have to realize this is required, that they are no different than anybody else. In fact, money can corrupt people with very big egos. Egos will use money in a negative way, power and greed and manipulation. And so we want to be careful of that because we look up to some of these people for no really good reason. They are just like regular people, but usually doing things that aren't so nice for the collective. Now, what are we going to do about this? And what's going to happen? You're going to see those egos who see these power structures collapsing, just like all of these systems are starting to slowly dissolve. You know, it's going to be a little bit here, a few big things in finances and stuff, a few little things. It's just going to be an accumulation of eventually having to shift over into other things that are going to actually work for the whole of the people. We're going to have to start taking care of each other, and we're going to start thinking more like a community that's powerful and stop looking to other people, handing over power to huge egos that are not going to do things that are, let's just say, high frequency, all right? There are going to be people that are going to fight like you know what to stay in their positions of money and power because they can't think past that. They just can't get past their own judgments, limitations, lack, and basically fear that they're going to lose something, and somehow not having control of the material world or other people is going to be a bad thing for them. In fact, it will be the best thing that ever happened for them. Maybe they'll go to the dark night of the soul and figure out that there's something so much bigger than this material world here. There is going to be a whole structure of the old guard. I talked about the old guard before, dissolving. Finding out what they've been doing, people that are going to, they call them whistleblowers. I don't get into all this stuff and conspiracy theory. I think it's a waste of time. What we want to do is start focusing on What can I do, the individual and my community, because that's who's going to change this planet. And stop watching all this garbage about who's doing what, because the dirty laundry is going to be put out in the open. We're going to find out these people are just not who we want in charge. And so you're going to have to let go of your attachment to anybody out there that you thought was going to be some savior. No one will save us. Only we can do that. No one can change your life. Only you can do that. Same thing with spiritual teachers. If you have a spiritual teacher that's telling you that you should listen to them because, they're going to do something for you and you should look up to them, or they're preaching fear, then you have to ask yourself why. They're on a lower frequency. And so they're probably ignorant and don't realize what they're doing. Sometimes they think they're doing good things. They're actually causing more fear. You are fully equipped to do anything. You're walking around with jewels in your pocket. You just haven't reached in yet. The beggar's coat is lined with jewels. Well, that's all of us. And so we're walking around like beggars when we actually hold the abundance, health, the happiness, the joy, and peace of the universe. And we have to just discover that. So people in power that are going to realize that we are discovering that are going to feel threatened, and they're going to fight even further. So what they're going to do is they're going to slander other people. They're going to make everybody else look bad instead of trying to solve some issues on this planet and showing us, that they can be a solution. They're just going to point fingers at other people. If somebody's pointing fingers, then what are they doing? Yeah, they're throwing stones in judgment. It's the same old we've been doing forever. Okay, so, even our government, we're going to spend money to combat, listen to the words that people use, by the way, to combat the environmental issues. Here's how we'll combat it. Shut down everything that's polluting the planet. You don't clean something up. You don't poop on your front lawn and then keep cleaning it up. Right? Oh, we're going to go clean it up. Why don't you stop pooping in your front lawn, okay? You don't mess it in your nest, right? My neighbor used to say that. I thought that was pretty cute. So what are we going to do? Well, we have to stop messing our nest and start looking at ourselves, all right? Stop pointing fingers and stop watching the garbage, because you'll never get all the facts anyways. But we do know one thing, that all of the power structures are corrupt, and I don't say that to frighten you. I'm just saying that there are factions of people that just operate that way. And because we've handed them that power, it's our own, it's our own doing. So we have to start creating the new world and saying, I don't have to live that way anymore. I can be abundant. And you have to start asking yourself what you can do for yourself right now to change that. Now, you guys know I do things like I own my own businesses online. It's not always easy to live this life. You're under everybody's scrutiny when you sit here, and I really don't care. One of my, hopefully was going to be a student, she said, I love how you wear hats and you don't care what people think. And I said, why would we not be ourselves? Everything that I do, I hold you first and foremost in my heart. And so if I come at something with that first, then I know I'm coming from a higher frequency, okay? So ask yourself, when you open your mouth and you say anything, do we have to say, shut your pie hole? Because if you are going at the world in negativity and judgment, you are still putting out you're pooping on the front lawn. You're messing our nest. Those are negative frequencies that you're putting out there. It's no different than the people in power who we find out are doing some stupid stuff. Oh, and they're going to talk a good line. Talk away. Shut your pie hole. I've got some important things to do. We are going to change this planet. We're going to start doing business differently. We're going to stop working for businesses that do nasty stuff to people and the planet. Are you one of those people? Is it time to change jobs? We cannot change it if we are fueling it by getting money from them or putting money into them, including everything you use in your house. These people in power, those are the people in power. They don't care about our planet. They just want to sell you stuff. They don't care what they do to get that money. That is part of the structure that has to collapse if we want to change the world. So they're going to be okay. They'll be perfectly fine. They'll go find another way to earn money that might actually be beneficial to everyone, because that's the only way they're going to survive. But we are the decision makers for that. We have to take responsibility, okay? So you've got to look at your own life and say, what am I fueling out there that's keeping these people in power wealthy, not caring about, our health or happiness or anything else. If you know that you're doing something or buying something that is going to be good for the planet, and by the way, I have a channel where I actually demonstrate the things I use. I have none of my laundry and everything, none of that's in plastic, none of it. Not my dishwasher fluids, not even my shampoos, anything. I show you how to do it. And by the way, it's really good stuff. Feels good, it's healthier for you. You're not putting those toxins in your body. And by the way, when you do that, you know what happens? It goes into your system, your liver, your kidneys, things aren't functioning well, and we wonder why, we're not healthy, or there's all kinds of unhealthy consequences. And that, if you don't use those other things that the wealth is putting out for us to purchase that says we have to buy it, if you're not using it, then you are not the problem anymore. This is what we have to do, because those egos will fight like you know what to stay in power. They will lie, they will do everything to keep us on their side. If you're taking a side, you are part of the separation that keeps us in density. Sorry. Oneness means that everybody comes from their own fear, and you have to look at them with compassion and say, well, it's just somebody who's deep into ego. They're fighting for it. I don't have to judge it. What am I going to do? So both sides are going to really battle. In other words, you're going to see a lot of people falling because a lot of people not wanting to live that way anymore are going to out them and reveal the things that we really do need to know about, because not that we didn't know it was corrupt, but we need to know what the truth is, because we do place these people on a pedestal, and that we should never do that with anyone. These things you shall do and more. Ye are all gods. Let's start believing that, and not in an egotistical way, one where I do hold that power. Okay, so the other ones are going to fight to stay in power, so they're going to start doing things via media and other ways. They're going to accelerate things to get you to believe things that are false. If it invokes fear, separation, argument, or judgment, it is not of a high frequency nature. Okay? That's how you can know. If this is making me feel like I need to take a side, if this is making me pick an enemy, if this is making me get in arguments and judgment, I'm arguing with my neighbor about, who's right or wrong, then you know that it's just all more garbage. So you have to just say, I don't know, but I do know one thing. People have been doing things that are not very honest, and that's not how we want to live, and that's not who we want leading us in everything. From who we worked for who runs our country, from the health industry, all of it. Doctors, if they talked about what they do, they would lose their jobs. So they have it, they button up. That's got to stop. We have to start speaking up, and there are people speaking up. So get ready for that. You're going to see more and more of it. And I don't care, whoever you put up on a pedestal, whoever it is, they're still human beings. So be okay with letting go and realizing that there's a new amazing world emerging, and it doesn't include all the stuff that we're seeing right now that is causing conflict. Focus on that which is best and highest. Look at yourself and how you can make the change. And shut down the media. I don't watch some of these things. It's sort of funny. I go out and people just say, "What? You don't know what I'm talking about?" I literally don't know what they're talking about. Put my head in the sand. No, not listening to the false stuff. It's false. All right. There are things that are truth that are built upon to get controversial feelings from you, conflict, all of it. So watch that. Actually, don't watch that. Now, if you are familiar with my teachings, I am teaching thousands of people through my videos, my free videos, masterclass, and some of my online courses and coaching. I would love for you to come over, and if you're interested in being one of my students, we're changing our lives. Miracles are happening for them, literally in every area of their lives. First of all, starting with releasing all of the stories and the thoughts that cause you to wake up at 3 a.m. with the sweats. I'm here to guide you through that. It's called Breakthrough Fear. I also have an advanced course called Activate Your Magic. So if you're a more advanced student, you don't need to work through anything, although if you're not manifesting what you desire. There's a block somewhere. There's a fear or some kind of a belief. We do work on that in that class. Come on over, check it out. If not, I have a free mobile app for you. What am I manifesting to help you get those thoughts in check? The free videos, I have all kinds of meditations, really cool stuff. I'm doing whatever I can. And this is what my mission is. So I hope I can help guide you. If you like my teachings, then come on over and check it out. I hope you'll subscribe. You know, my subscribership, it's not easy. There are so many people on YouTube, and a lot of it's negative. Actually, most of it's negative. So if you support my channel and share it with other people, maybe we can raise the frequency of the planet just a little bit more. Sometimes that's all it takes. All right. Thank you so much for listening. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings. Namaste.